I became very skilled with lots of hair grips, hairspray, mascara, which I'd use on my scalp to camouflage. It got to the stage where I'd spend so many hours sort of constructing this hairstyle that would get me out the door without looking odd. It took over my life in the end. It took a lot of effort.
And time.
And time, yeah.
And did you always keep the same sort of style?
It did vary, and being a musician at the same time, I was in a way lucky because it allowed me to be a little bit more flamboyant. But there's some days you don't want to be all dressed up and styled to the hilt. Sometimes you just want to go out looking normal and natural, and you can't do that with TTM. It's not possible.
A big effort.
It is, huge effort, and very restrictive as well, because you can't swim, you can't go out in windy conditions when it's very wet. You're forever worrying that you might be looking a little odd perhaps, so it takes over your life. Absolutely.
Well, it was very easy at first, because when I first started I only had a teeny tiny little patch of damage, so I just used to comb my hair back, pin it down and make that my style. But then as I got more and more addicted to having to, pulling my hair all the time, and the patches just got bigger and deeper and wider, you'd start doing things like wearing your hair up and really sort of like scraping it back into a bun, and completely immobile. You can't do anything else with your hair. And then it got to the stage where I had to have a headscarf over it. Then I used to have to wear berets no matter what and pretend I was artistic because I was in a beret, and you're just so constrained. Because as Margaret mentioned, you can't do anything. You don't want anyone to touch you, you don't want to get wet, you certainly can't go swimming, you can't get on a motorbike, you can't go horse riding, can't do anything. If the wind blows, you think, oh, that's me indoors all day, because you can't possibly go out in it. And it does definitely sort of isolate yourself, and you feel very isolated, because you really don't want anyone sort of just doing that normal thing of ruffling your hair or giving you a kiss on top of your head or anything like that at all. It just gets very difficult.
What about you, T? How did you used to disguise your hair?
I used to disguise it. I used a lot of mascara, eyeliner, eyeshadow, root touch-up products you can buy, like felt tips, those kind of things. I also used the spray, the coloured spray, the coloured hair thickener. Hair grips, headbands. I had a multitude of wide Alice bands that would just cover this bit of hair. And I'd had the same style for years. I had my hair cut probably about 3 times throughout the entire of high school.
So we've all experienced, the measures that you will go to disguise
and the
any kind of hair loss, the desperation, the
you don't
misery.
leave the house. You don't leave the house. You stay at home.
It's a desolate thing, isn't it?
Yeah.